Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a recap for the last week and an overlook for the week to come. As we saw during this week, the rise of the 10-year government yield, soon it reached 1.7%. The sell-off intensified in the high multiple names and the names with a weak balance sheet. Basically, we saw the Nasdaq selling off the harder for days. And we listened to many Fed presidents, all of them come up hawkish. This means that the Federal Reserve is serious about rising interest rates and shrinking its balance sheet. Regardless of the impact of the last virus variant, I'm not telling the name so I don't get cut up by the YouTube algo, which is spreading at a very high level, while the government policy still pretty much the same, with mandating vaccination and booster shots and mask mandate, as well as encouraging to take the pill. On the other hand, we had news about the ex-vice chair of the Fed, Clarida, and his insider trading when he was in position, turning million to hundreds of millions. While these news were circulating on Bloomberg's, CNBC, and on the internet, we didn't hear a response from the SEC or Gary Gensler. Also, during this week, we saw a drop in cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, below the line in the sand we drew previously on the chart at 42,000. All of these events are a strong indicator of sentiment change in the market. So what is going to happen the next week? No one obviously can answer this question. The performance of the stock market depends of the participation sentiment, the Federal Reserve action, the bond market, and the geopolitical events. If we expand on the geopolitical side, we have basically China and Taiwan conflict from one hand and Russia and Ukraine from the other hand. We know China is a net importer of basic material and energy, while Russia rely on the export of natural gas. Any disturbance will affect these sectors and thus will affect the market. So during the next week, a close-up attention to the 10-year yield and the energy sector will give us a tradable opportunity. At this moment of time, in my opinion, I will avoid any plain purchase of stocks without having in mind all the facts I listed before. Let's check closely the last week performers and see the result on the heat map of the S&P 500. We see clearly the high growth and high multiple names such as Microsoft, Nvidia, Autodesk, Netflix, Google are bleeding and selling off aggressively. From the other hand, we see the value names and the inflation names performing very well. Names such as Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, the banksters such as JP Morgan, Bank of America, value name such as Intel, Verizon, energy name such as ExxonMobil, which is up by 12.57%. That's all what I got for you today. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and talk to you soon. If you find what presented on this channel helpful, like and subscribe to improve the algorithm and follow me on social media.